Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In our path of spiritual life, the journey that we are trying to put a lot of endeavor and also the healing, the journey, the rediscovery of knowledge, we know that our goal is to become closer to Krishna, to our duty, and also to develop that love and relationship to the Supreme. Like what did we discuss the previous verses? One should be the stita deer, or the person with steady mind. The person with steady mind is not affected by a lot of factors around him. But there is this one thing that will be the greatest battle that he will have to face, which is his own inner battle. Now we will hear how Krishna advised Arjuna how to handle his own inner battle. Let's read from our Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, the contents of the Gita summarized, text number 62. While contemplating the object of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So this text 62 and 63, yung dinidiscuss dito is the process of fall down. We mentioned last time that one should be in a mood of following the footsteps ng isang stiradira or a person with steady mind. Tinanong ni Arjuna kay Krishna, ano ba yung itsura? Ano yung symptoms ng isang person na self-realized? Paano siya magsalita? Paano siya maglakad? Paano siya umupo? It means paano siya mag-behave. Paano yung sadachar niya. We answered the first two questions. Kung paano yung isang great devotee as paano siya magsalita. Paano siya mag-take ng insults and also clarification. And also paano siya how does he sit? Paano siya mag-control ng senses niya. We started to discuss also yung we will start to discuss yung how does he walk. But now, how does he sit? Paano niya kinokontrol yung senses niya? Diniscuss ni Krishna paano yung process ng fall down. Ano yung danger? Ano yung dapat natin iwasan? From contemplating the objects of the senses, dito nagsisimula. Habang yung mind natin, hindi natin kinokontrol and nag-contemplate palagi din sa object of the senses. We might be able to be renounced sa mga to grossly, physically, pero pag yung mind ligaw na ligaw doon, it could really hijack kung paano yung practice ng isang tao and mapull uli siya sa material desires para mag-enjoy sa material senses niya. So very important to. Kasi if one is always thinking about the objects of the senses, ano nang nangyayari habang iniisip ka na iniisip, madi-develop yung attachment. So sobrang attached na siya. Then, lust develops. It is the perverted reflection of love, yung lust. This time, with the object of the senses, gusto niyang enjoyin. Hindi lang niya iniisip. Hindi lang sa attach. Gustong-gusto na niya enjoyin. And if hindi niya makuha yon, nandun na yung anger. Ang ganda ng progress, di ba? Makikita natin paano tayo mag-fall down. Paano tayo mag-fail. Great lesson is, from the start pa lang, pag nalaman natin sobrang kino-contemplate natin yung object of the senses, umpisa na siya. Lagi mo nang iniisip ng iniisip. Minsan lagi mo rin sinasabi. So, this could be subtle or this could be gross material sense enjoyment. Could be something like eating some abominable foods or pwedeng pagpunta dun sa mga ibang activities such as intoxication, much more illicit connection or illicit sex. Nagsimula sa contemplation of the sense object. Iisipin muna. So, doon pa lang, pwede na kagad kontrolin. By, katulad ng sabi kanina, like the tortoise, withdraw the senses, withdraw the limbs. If may danger, bakit mo kailangan puntahan? If sketchy yung situation, bakit mo kailangan pumasok doon? If may mga circumstances na pwede kang ma-disturb, ma-tempt, bakit mo kailangan maging involved? So, kailangan maging smart tayo na hindi natin ilagay yung sarili natin sa situation na mahirap alisan. Otherwise, tayo rin yung magiging victim. Pag in-expose natin yung sarili natin doon. 63. Continuation to. From anger, complete delusion arises. And from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So, if one is trying to become a devotee, ito yung danger. From this progress hanggang anger, pwede siya magkaroon ng delusion. Mag-iiba na yung perception niya. And sunod na doon, bewilderment of memory. Mawawala na yung memory niya. Makakalimutan na rin niya yung inaral niya. Nakalimutan na rin niya yung Bhagavad Gita. Kalimutan na niya yung Sangha. Kasi na-hijack na ng object of the senses yung sarili niya. And from there, wala na yung memory niya, intelligence is lost. Once the intelligence is lost, yung mga decision-making niya, magiging hindi na towards Krishna consciousness, towards sense enjoyment na lang talaga. And one again falls down to the material pool. This is the process of fall down, the 8 stages. From contemplation of the senses, sense object, hanggang dun sa fall down. Tuloy-tuloy siya. So what should be done? Once ma-check natin yung sarili natin, oops, andito pala ako sa stage na to. Immediately, kailangan natin withdraw yung sarili natin doon. If mahirap, get some help. That is why very important na meron tayong Sangha. Kasi we would help each other. Importante na may magandang relationships tayo sa paligid natin, sa devotees. Kasi makikita nila, lalo na kapag nandun sa stage na delusion na tayo, makikita nila yung situation natin. And if we have a good relationship nga, andun sila para tumulong sa atin. But if we don't have this, because of our own false ego, mahirapan tayo tulungan. Kasi we're thinking na magaling tayo. Tapos, yun pala andito tayo sa mga stages na to. Di natin nakikita kung yung mga ginagawa natin, yung mga decision makings natin. Papunta pala tayo sa dark place. Pwede pala tayo mag-spiral down. Again, from delusion, from contemplation, doon lang siya nagsisimula. Text 64. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Ang ganda lang term dito, regulative principles of freedom. So this is why we have rules and regulations to follow. We cannot just have this mood of free spirit. Wala tayong susundin. Because wala, free soul ako. Kailangan natin ng guide. Kailangan natin ng directions. Otherwise, we cannot handle kung paano yung material nature sa buhay natin. Kasi ang daming offerings, ang daming temptations. Only those who are free from all attachment and aversion and yung nakapag-control ng senses. Yung magiging yung person na magiging or able to obtain yung complete mercy ni Krishna. Kasi if we're addicted to old habits or other sense objects, hindi natin fully benefit, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng full benefit dun sa mercy ni Krishna kasi hati yung consciousness natin, hati yung attention natin. You cannot just be half-baked. Kalahati lang. Surrender ka sa kalahati lang. Kaya nga surrender eh. Fully, di ba? That's why we bow down. And yung those who are in the male body, they do dandavats, full dandavat or bow down like a stick. Yung mga Matajis din naman, sa ibang places, pwede sila mag-bow down, pero naka-side. O if hindi ka naman makapag-bow down fully, of course, you must pay obeisances through your hearts. So we want to surrender. It's not an easy process, but that's what we want to be at that situation or at that status of surrender fully dapat. For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. So, itong inner battle na to, madali lang siyang i-conquer kapag naging Krishna conscious yung isang person. The threefold miseries, goodness, passion, and ignorance, kaya niyang mag-go beyond kaagad. There is an analogy. The ocean of material existence, kapag naging devotee yung isang tao, lumiliit siya. Like the water sa hoofprint ng cow. Imagine the ocean na lumiliit siya. He could easily cross beyond it. Ang sekreto lang maging Krishna conscious. Hindi sinasabing mawawala yung mga challenges sa buhay. Pero pag Krishna conscious yung isang tao, iba niya makikita yung mga challenges. Iba niya rin makikita yung inner battles. And madali niyang isurpass yun. No material preparation yung makakatulong. Meditation into nothing or seminars about leadership, about psychology para ma-handle niya yung inner battles niya. It's still gonna be hard unless maging devotee yung isang tao. A lot of people doesn't have this concept of regulative principles. Remember, we try to live our life in the mode of goodness para mas madali mag-practice ng Krishna consciousness. We try to tailor-fit our life para mag-practice ng karma yoga, much more bhakti yoga, to connect everything to Krishna. Kapag hindi natin nagagawa yung regulative principles, performing yung illicit connection, illicit sex, or meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, these are the guidelines na kailangan natin gawin para mas madali yung inner battles natin. Otherwise, itong mga to will be a hindrance. Feeling ng mga tao is escape to pag ginagawa nila to. Instant gratification, instant dopamine nga daw. Para makalimutan lang yung real inner battle nila. Pero no. Actually, habang hindi nila fina-face yung inner battle nila, lalong lumalala yung demons inside. Lalong lumalala yung situation. Anong gagawin kapag hindi pa ma-follow yung four good principles? Just continue to chant. Chant attentively. Kapag may chanting na, automatic, mas madali na i-follow yung four regular principles. Mas madali na i-follow yung the rest ng rules and regulations. You have to put a lot of effort in chanting. Kasi pwedeng may four regular principles, walang chanting, walang hearing. Then yung four regular principles, mabilis ma-break kapag andyan na uli yung contemplation of the objects of the senses. Para sa atin to. yung contemplation of the object of the senses, paano mo kukontrolin yung mind mo. Otherwise, masusway ulit tayo. Dadala tayo ng agos ni material nature. So, real intelligence will be established kapag satisfied tayo sa Krishna consciousness. And magiging satisfied ka lang sa buhay kapag connected yung buong buhay mo kay Krishna. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? So yung peace of mind daw is directly related sa Krishna consciousness. And kapag Krishna conscious ng isang tao, then andun talaga yung real intelligence and andun talaga yung steady mind. Hindi magkakaroon ng peace of mind kapag yung mind mo hindi steady, kung saan siya napupunta. Lahat ng desires pinapatulan mo, lahat ng emotions sinasakyan mo. Hindi magkakaroon ng steady mind. So ito yung steps. And ito rin yung goal, to become Krishna conscious. Mahirap mag-focus lang dun sa self-care and self-care and peace of mind. Tapos wala kang Krishna consciousness. One offering uli ni Maya, contemplation of the senses, object of the senses, magiging unstable uli yung mind natin. Yung peace of mind talaga, ang pinakasolusyon is maging Krishna conscious. In that way, yung intelligence natin, mas clear niya nakita lahat. If not, katulad nung process of fall down, mag-cover yung intelligence. Then wala uling peace of mind. Andyan uli yung disturbance ng mind natin. And kapag yung mind natin is not our friend, it's gonna be our worst enemy. As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. So all the senses should be engaged kay Krishna. Lahat daw dapat. Katulad kung nabasa niyo yung purports si Ambaris Maharaj, lahat ng senses niya, ginagamit niya in connection kay Krishna. Kasi if not, even just one, pwede kang mag-fall down. So, si Ambarish Maharaj, lahat ng senses niya, his sight, his hands, the tactile sense, yung hearing niya, yung taste buds niya, even yung legs niya, lahat dapat nakakonect kay Krishna. So, ganoon dapat gawin natin sa buhay natin. Walang, hindi ko muna gagawin to, kukonek kay Krishna to, the rest muna, ito late na to. No, ito yung weakness natin, ito yung dadalhin sa atin, magdadala sa atin sa trouble again. Ito yung access point ni Maya or illusion para ma-capture niya tayo. Just like the Trojan horse, di ba? So, dapat daw, lahat ng senses, fully guarded natin. Kasi ayun yung magiging entry point ni Maya. Therefore, O mighty armed, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of steady intelligence. So, to curb the force of sense gratification only means being Krishna conscious. And mapapansin natin dito sa purport ni Prabhupada, he mentioned in the last part na there's this practice na kailangan i-follow natin, the art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. So those who are practicing this is the one who is called sadhaka or a devotee. And suitable siya for candidate ng liberation. Important instruction to, very instructive na sinabi ni Prabhupada. Yung mga struggle natin, yung kailangan natin ma-win na inner battles, could be easily fought kapag meron tayong spiritual master na mag-guide sa atin. Ganyan ang sabi ni Prabhupada, this art under guidance. Yung practice na to is like an art. Kailangan mo rin ng spiritual master. There's two kinds of spiritual masters, the Diksha and the Siksha, those who give the initiation and those who give instructions. Could be one, could be separate. Pero kailangan natin yun. Important yun. And important din na may magandang relationship tayo dun sa Siksha kasi kilala nila dapat tayo. Hindi yung informal, hindi yung casual relationship lang. Maganda may personal relationship para mag-guide tayo. It will be foolish sa sarili natin na, hindi, Prabhu, independent kasi ako eh. Ayoko na may nag-check sa akin. It's a show off ng pride. Na bawal kang sabihan, bawal kang i-guide. Paano pa yung pagiging devotee? And what more pa yung word na disciple? Disciple means being disciplined. And being disciplined, kailangan may fina-follow din tayo. Kailangan may nag-guide sa atin. We should be humble enough for us to receive guidance, feedbacks, sometimes chastisements. That's their mercy. But if we will resist or push back, then it's just a manifestation of pride, manifestation of us not being really surrendered. Baka yung practice natin is with ulterior motives. We want to practice Krishna consciousness because we want to be in the position or a show or a fashion lang na we're practicing this. We want to be like Arjuna. I am a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me. Now the question is, kailangan ba sa guru lang, sa Diksha guru lang mag-surrender? No. Kailangan marunong tayong mag-surrender din sa Siksha guru. And you have to find a genuine Siksha guru na walang intention, ulterior motives then. And tayo rin dapat, we should qualify ourselves as a disciple. Again, if we don't have these relationships, yung inner battle natin sobrang laki. Sobrang hirap. Sobrang struggle. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. So, it describes a lifestyle of a devotee. Kailangan ma-regulate niya at first yung sleep and eating niya. Here, it was mentioned yung kung paano i-regulate ng isang devotee yung night and day niya, yung sleep and awakeness niya. Mahirap to, lalo na sa panahon na ngayon, especially kapag yung work or yung duties and activities would be a hindrance para i-follow to. Pero, ultimately, kailangan natin magkaroon ng sadhana, ng bhajan of practice natin and sangha natin. Ideally, sa morning, in the mode of goodness na time sa araw. So, regulation ng time of awakening natin and sleep natin, kailangan on top din tayo. Otherwise, madala tayo ng modes in the late time of the day, saka evening, passion and ignorance yung modes na yan. Pansin nyo, mas mahirap mag-chant. Sabi nga nila, if you want to chant, do it in the morning. May matira ka, the rest of the day, struggle na yon. Yung afternoon, yung evening nalo. Yung 3 rounds mo sobrang tagal. Kasi yung mind is much more hard to control. So it's a guidance and guidelines natin. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy the desires, such desires. So itong inner battle natin from different factors outside, and yung greatest is yung galing sa sarili natin, galing sa sariling desires natin. The analogy of the river and the ocean. Yung river, non-stop siya magbigay ng water dun sa ocean. Every day, 24/7. Pero yung ocean, never agitated. Very still and very calm. Dapat gayon tayo sa ating mind state natin. Kahit anong dumating, kahit anong i-produce ng mind na different desires, disturbances, dapat steady tayo. Hindi sinasabing mawawala yung troubles from outside and from inside. Pero paano natin i-handle? That's the real peace. Kapag andyan na yung mga object na pwedeng mag-provoke sa atin, pero we handle it very graceful. Very gracefully natin naaharap yung mga desires, troubles, and yung mga emotions. Again, we're not dead bodies. Andun pa rin yung mga feelings. Pero paano mo hinahandle? That's the question. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. And last text, that is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. This is the last text ng ating chapter 2, and Srila Prabhupada actually nilagay niya sa purport yung devotee, pinaulit-ulit niya na walang material desires, pero meron siyang spiritual desires. Hindi ibig sabihin na nag-devotee ka na wala ka nang ipopursue. No. Ang tanong lang is, what kind of desires yon? Kapag na-engage mo lahat kay Krishna, then it's Krishna conscious desires. It's a spiritual desire. Kaya siya tinatawag na desireless. It means desireless from material enjoyment. And yung activities na ginagawa ng isang devotee, yung behavior niya, yung desires niya, yung services niya, is not material. Lahat yun ay spiritualized. And ito rin yung gagawin sa spiritual world, is having desires, having activities, having results being offered to Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Activities sa spiritual world na pinapractice sa material world. Again, hindi madali yung inner battle. This is part ng ating spiritual life. May purification na nangyayari, may learnings, and also may mga challenges. Hindi ibig sabihin na nagpa-practice tayo, wala na yun. At kapag nag-disturb tayo, kailangan pilitin natin maging humble to seek guidance. It doesn't mean also na nagpa-practice yung isang tao ng Krishna consciousness, ng spiritual life, is automatic na magiging madali yung buhay niya, magiging smooth lahat. It's not that. It's not that easy. Kasi yung mga worth it na mga bagay, kailangan pinaghihirapan. And kailangan natin mapatunayan din kay Maya na we want to be really serious in our spiritual life. Kasi job ni Maya, disturb tayo. We want to be able to surpass that. That's our inner battles. Minsan, hindi natin kinukwento sa ibang tao. Minsan, hindi natin nire-reveal yung mind and yung mga struggles natin. But it will be nice if we have wonderful Sangha. Kasi, hindi madaling gawing mag-isa. And much more, magiging mahirap kapag wala tayong guidance ng guru. That is our episode for today. And we should be always a well-wisher sa mga kasama natin in our practice, that may they all win their inner battles. That inner battles is battle natin para mas maging Krishna conscious person. Hindi lang maging mabait or maging gentleman or proper person, but to become a devotee. And we know na may mga challenges yung mga tao. We want to help them, guide them, and to be there kapag may mga pinagdadaanan sila. And we also want to be open na matulungan ng ibang tao. Take that humble position of a devotee na merong mag-guide sa atin. And I wish everyone na nanalo kayo sa lahat ng inner battles ninyo.